Here we are from the center of the galaxy and live to you on a Monday. This is ForceCenter, a show about Star Wars, pop culture, and the ultimate adventure, life itself. I'm Ken, one half of Ken and Jen in the afternoon.
And I'm Jen, and welcome to your morning drive.
That's right, we got Jen with traffic and weather, and Star Wars news. Jen, what about them Dodgers this weekend?
Well, Ken, I hear that it was a big success, right?
Big success.
People
Dodgers.
were talking about it, right? It was good. It was good for the Dodgers, correct?
It was. They're going to the World Series.
There you go.
There you go. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. It's a silly Monday. We're going to talk some Star Wars news. As we've made it very clear, it's just two of us here today. Joseph is back. Well, I always say back home. That's not fair. His home's in L.A., but his former home and still his current heart is in Minneapolis right now. Tonight, premiering Dead Media, his first feature film that he has worked so hard on for 2 years. Like, concerned about his health hard. So how hard the work has gone. But tonight is a big accomplishment. So if you're local or out there or going, let us know. Drop a comment if you're like, yeah, I'm heading out tonight. Support Joseph and Dead Media. And we'll have a chance to support it ourselves wherever it airs and shows and is presented in the future. But for right now, Jen, it's you and I, and we're going to be talking about one of our favorite things in Star Wars, especially you, Hutts, specifically Rada the Hutt. Are you ready to dive into that?
I am ready. I'm ready for the emotions.
There you go. There you go. All right. We got ourselves a Rada confirmation. We had even talked on a previous episode, Jen and I, where we just didn't know if it was fully confirmed. Yes, right. It was. It was out there, but that's the way movie news has gone for the last 10 or 15 years. Is it legit? Is it a scooper trying to make a paycheck? Or is a scooper with some facts that has gotten something out there? But Jen, we got the confirmation this week. Did you see all the clips? Did you see the interview?
I saw not the full interview. I saw the clip of the interview, and I'm glad I did. And we'll get into why.
That's right. Jeremy Allen White. He's the boss now, don't you know? That's right. Deliver me from nowhere. Come on up on the horizon. Jeremy Allen White confirmed that he did, in fact, voice Rotta, a.k.a. the son of Jabba the Hutt, for the upcoming motion picture extravaganza, The Mandalorian and Grogu. And he did it on 2 shows this week, Jen. The first was Good Morning America, where he sat there and was promoting the Boss picture. And they were like, can we talk about something else that's coming out? Like, here we go. And then he was on the Graham Norton show, one of the greatest interview shows of all time. And he confirmed that Rada is the, quote, buff Hutt that we see in the trailer, and that he and Mando spend a lot of time running around together. On Good Morning America, he said he had met Jon Favreau and was talking movies with him, like talking about swingers, which is what I would do as well. When Jon asked him to come do a voice, later he found out the weight of that role. Jen, first thing before we talk about Rada, the key to getting cast in a Favreau joint in Star Wars is just hanging out with him, just being at one of his parties.
Oh, man. I've heard about his parties, but I have never been. No. Gotta make my way. No. I feel like that would just be like swingers. Me trying to get into the party.
Place is dead anyways.
Can you imagine? Oh.
Yeah, that is also famously how Bill Burr got cast. They were hanging around, I think, in a kitchen at a party. And John was like, hey, why don't you be in Star Wars? And Bill was like, yeah, come on. Star Wars, want to be with a bunch of the nerds? Nah, I'm not going to do that. And he's like, yeah, okay, come be in Star Wars.
I love that impression.
So, I'm a Bill Burr fan, but
yeah.
Even over recent events, I still like Bill. But all that aside, Jen, let's talk about Rada. Now we can fully talk about Rada. You being our resident Hutt expert, where do you go with this?
I was initially so against this for so many reasons. I was like, this is a buff Hutt. I don't need to see it. I don't know if I expressed this, but inside I had a lot of turmoil. And then I was like, Jeremy Allen White, like, why? Like, he's such a great actor, but it just doesn't make sense. So I calmed myself because last night I was looking at this and I'm like, I can't go in angry. This is not good. So I watched the clip and I did a complete steak flip. and I completely changed my view. Completely. The
Okay.
thing that I think he's going to bring is he's going to bring heart. And there is a real like sensitivity that he has naturally that I think is what's going to come into this character of Rada. And the fact that he said that he and Mando are running around, and then Graham Norton was like, wait, he can actually run? And he was like, no, yeah, I kind of can. So
he can squiggle.
He can squiggle. So I think it's going to be a very different type of character than what I was expecting. And I think it's going to be really good.
I'm with you. But I want to go back.
Yeah.
Hold on. Strike that. Reverse it. Let's Willy Wonka this. Let's go back. You hadn't expressed your absolute, am I correct to say, dismay over a Hutt with biceps?
Yeah.
And all due respect to Gracchus the Hutt from the comics, so I think hit the gym, bro. But what I actually understand, and I want to talk about that a little bit more. Let's go back to that. What's the issue? Please explain more.
I didn't like that they were bringing the manosphere into my Star Wars in that way, in the form of a Hutt. I don't need it. I can watch UFC. I enjoy UFCs, watching that. I don't need that. And so I was worried that was kind of where we were going with it. Yeah, and then I was like, is he going to be moody? Is he going to be trying to put on something? It's just Jeremy Allen White is such a great actor.
Yeah.
Right?
What? Wait, hold on. Did you think Rada was going to be like on an episode of Space Wars Explained, going, look, I'm just asking questions about Mon Mothma. She took over, but did she really take over? Just asking questions. Like,
exactly it.
Now, nerds work out too, all right? You can't tell today, but occasionally I get in the gym and move some iron around. But I understand. Was it just related to a Hutt in shape, or Rada, the son of Jabba? There was some of that trepidation based around who he was more than what he was?
It was the fact that he speaks galactic basic really kind of threw me over the edge. And I think we hear him go, yeah, like that, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me if that's not a bro thing that you would hear, like listening to a certain podcast. Yeah.
I do love it. And, over the years, ForceCenter's cleaned its potty mouth up. But in the early days, we've done this more. But I'm going to say it now. You thought Rada was going to show up on screen and be like, let's fucking go. And
yes.
And just like, and maybe he will.
Yes. Listen.
Let's eat you to go.
Yeah. I mean, look, you're right, Michael. You're right. People are multifaceted. We can work out. I love working out.
Yeah. Detective McCarsell is the blathering fitness guru there. He rock climbs and he's a nerd. Yeah. Jen doesn't mean that. No. I know what you mean though.
Right?
I know what you mean.
There's a certain type of protein powder, creatine pushing type of person that I thought that this is where it was going. That's all I'm saying, right? And I'm glad to see it is so not that. And just like how sweetly he said it, Jeremy Allen White. He's like, yeah, that's Dad when he saw a picture of Jabba. Like it was kind of dorky, and I'm like, okay, you're in, bro. I said, bro, you're in, bruh.
See.
Oh, bruh. The kids say bruh. They say bruh all the time.
They do.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
6 and 7. I don't know what
6, 7. Oh, don't get me
6,
started
7.
on that. I hear it all day long.
You're in your house? Okay. Your kids or your husband? Who's saying it?
Yeah.
All right, this is fascinating. I love this. This is the kind of conversation I want to have about this. First of all, I think I've from the get-go have been like, I understand when people are like, this is a quote waste of a great actor, but I hearing him explain how he got the job, right? That he was just like eating Cubanos and talking about swingers with Jon Favreau, being like, John, you're so money, and at this point, you're very, very aware of it. And then it can be Star Wars. I'll do a voice, right? Cool. Call our agents. We'll talk on Monday. I'll come in the studio. And he gets there and he says, I have kind of in hints that he has a lot to do. And they spent a lot of time running around together. I'm not saying he's going to lead in screen time, but that kind of makes me feel good about how I've embraced both the character of Rada, who I do love. And I've said before, and I'll say it again. I'll put this on record for those watching now. Rada has a place in the Star Wars story because he is the son of Jabba the Hutt. And after you remove the vile gangster who kind of runs the Star Wars underworld at one point, and you remove him, and his son is still out here, his son would have something to say. Or his son would be on a different path. And maybe that path is, let's eat you to go. But that's a reaction to what happened, right? And he might be in these fighting pits. We'll see. But to take that and to say that it's more than, and there's been plot details out there, and we don't need to go into them, but like that maybe Rada's kind of this MacGuffin in a way, that this might move the plot along. But to have him be more active, and then to have someone like Jeremy Allen White, who is a great actor, who can bring that, dare I say it, gravitas to this role. It's definitely not a waste to me. I'm excited about the possibility of him doing this.
Yeah, I'm surprised at how big of an arc the character sounds like he's going to have. And the fact that the twins are on the poster, there's obviously some speculation that the twins are trying to get the power back from Rada, and Rada's just a sensitive kid. And yeah, he's a fighter, but he's also a lover. And maybe like, I kind of picture Jeremy Allen White's, and I'm not good at impressions of him, but he'll just be like, well, my dad, my dad really wants me to do that, but like, I just didn't want to do that. And so it's Keanu Reeves, but I kind of feel like he's a sensitive Hutt.
I didn't want my dad's life, man. I didn't want my dad's life. I'm an
FBI agent. Sorry. Oh, one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah, absolutely. And bringing him back into the fold, and I'm not saying they're getting him. This is clearly through the New Republic. And by the way, Rada was, rescued once by, the Jedi acting on the behalf of the Republic. So this has happened before, and I kind of like that. But yeah, just fascinating. But so I know you're not familiar with again, I think it was Gracchus the Hutt. My comic book knowledge is fading here, so someone in chat can help me. But so now knowing what you know about him and seeing the buff Hutt in the fighting pits, are you ready, Jen? It sounds like you are. Are you ready to embrace a more fit Hutt?
Oh, 100%. I was kind of intrigued by the buff Gamorrean guards. I think that's perhaps why I assumed that was where we were going with the Rada characters, because we saw that in, what was that? Was that Book of Boba Fett? Or was it Mandalorian?
No, Mandalorian. I mean, you're talking about the tall, lanky, cross-training Gamorrean guards in Mando? Yeah.
It's a bit unsettling. I didn't know how I felt about that. And so then that's why I was like, is that where we're going with this? But Jon Favreau, I know, just the fact that the Hutt is at the center of this movie, it gives me great joy. Yeah,
sorry, I got sidetracked. I do want to talk for a second of the tall, thin, CrossFit Gamorrean guards from Mandalorian. They were more than off-putting. They were absolutely disturbing.
Yeah,
and nothing, no, Gamorrean guards of all Gamorreans. We say Gamorrean guards because we were raised in the Kenner era. Gamorreans of all shapes and sizes, absolutely. But this is certainly our Ken and Jen in the afternoon vibe here. Years ago, for a birthday gift, I received from our pal Maude Garrett a unofficial Australian Star Wars magazine that was a parody of gentlemen's magazines. And in it was a Mon Calamari lady, and it was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life, and it haunts me to this day.
I don't even know.
Just do the math, and it was cosplay. It was cosplay.
Yeah.
And it's haunted me every day. And the Gamorrean guards. Again, I say guards because Kenner. The Gamorreans in Mando, in the wrestling ring, tall, thin, lanky, muscular, kind of upset me. And I think I have a little bit of that with Rada. So that's why I'm coming to this point. I'm telling a weird story, but I'm coming to the point of I want to know a little bit more. I want it to make sense that he's that ripped.
It doesn't make sense to me for the Gamorreans because I feel their species is pig-like. When have you seen a shredded pig? Oh, well, besides in carnitas.
Hey, yeah. I like some good carnitas quesadillas. Yeah. There you
my
go.
vegetarians out there. No, but I mean, like, it just doesn't make sense, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
kind of weird. It looks like, quite frankly, is what you might see at Comic-Con. You might see some ripped
Yes.
person with
Yes.
the Gamorrean head on, right? It's
Yes.
like kind of,
Mhm.
it's just a little funny and bizarre.
Mhm.
So a buff Hutt. But why did they say that he's like broader than Jabba? He doesn't look broader than Jabba. What do they mean by that? Like his shoulders?
Let's see. Yeah, all right. Hold on. I'll bring up the thumbnail again. That's the only photo I have prepared here. Yeah, he's wider.
Okay,
look, he's got some
sure.
traps, dog.
I
He's been
know.
working hard. He's been
Yeah,
moving
his
some.
traps.
See, I also want to say, like, this is prison yard buff, to be blunt. Like, he's seen some time on the inside.
Maybe he has.
I
Maybe
think
he's
that's what
trying
this
to
is
change
about.
his ways. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I really think so. I think he's trying to change his ways. I think he absolutely is trying to change his ways. I'd like some tats. I'd like an anchor tat and maybe some cigarettes at some point, some death sticks for Rada. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, then that makes me want to have an older Hutt. I feel like we should bring a new Hutt, like a new uncle into the mix who is like from Boston and like
No, Bill Burr can just do the voice.
Yeah.
It sounds like Miggs Mayfield. Yeah, it's that Miggs. No, it's not. Do you want like what? Do you want like a Hutt version of Mick from Rocky? Go get him, Rada. Go get that ring. Get him. Yeah, Rada, punch him hard. No, yeah, okay.
Yeah, which does make me think of then who is there with Rada? Like, what do they do that? You know, where they like go and they rub their head in between rounds and like, what do they call it?
Yeah, they put some smelling salts and I think yeah.
I always love when they take the Vaseline and like they really like give them a little like massage as if that's
absolutely. Tristan agrees. Maybe he did spend some time in the big house. David McKay says he smokes death cigars on his podcast.
Oh God!
Lost Cosmic Gentleman. I wonder if Grogu will sit on Rada's shoulders. Oh yeah, you're gonna get.
Oh my!
I predict you're gonna have. I don't collect Funko Pops anymore. In fact, I'm trying to get rid of all mine. If anyone wants some best offers, I think you will see a Rada with Grogu Funko combo.
I love it.
You're a bum, Rada. You're a bum. Oh, Svetnik is right. Nah, Mick would be an Ugnaught.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
So the other thing, this is why I love it goes a little off the rails. There's a little side story to this here, but I think it helps our conversation about what this movie will be. If there's a lot of running around, there's a lot of action. I want this. You know, I think you're with me here, Jen. That I want this to be a fast-paced, fun romp of a film. Like I don't need any fireside chats in this one. I value those in Star Wars, but I don't need it here. We have Sigourney Weaver, which we are blessed to have her in Star Wars. Who knows how she got cast? Maybe she's John's neighbor. Maybe they were out on a walk together. I don't know.
I know.
But it's a good, smart move. But at New York Comic Con, she was speaking with Josh Horowitz. And she said she was only on set for a few days. That's not a surprise, at least not to me, probably not to you, Jen. But I do want to talk about that just because this movie, you know, is now only a few months away. It's on the radar screen for a release, and we do not know a ton about the cast. I mean, I think it was mostly Jeremy Allen White as this voice and Sigourney Weaver, and then just all the people we know in terms of Brendan Wayne and Lateef Crowder and Pedro. What is your reaction to her going, oh, I had a lot of fun. I'm this character, but I was only on set for a couple days. What does that do to your expectations of the story?
Yeah, I feel validated because that's kind of what I was expecting is like, I don't want to say glorified, but kind of like a bit of a cameo, a smaller part, which is fine. I think that's great. I mean, she was listing off in that interview some of the things that she's done. I mean, come on, like Gorillas in the Mist, Alien, obviously. I mean, it's just like the list goes on and on and on. She doesn't need Star Wars. Is it fun? Yeah, absolutely. Is it great that, you know, a younger generation might now know her as Colonel Bishop? It's kind of funny. I expected her role to be very small.
Yeah, as well. And I think to me, there was always an energy behind it that was, she was New Republic, and that was going to be, you know, that's not Grief Karga, but we've since lost Carl Weathers. I think there was going to be a hole in the soul of the picture of that older kind of wise mentor or ally to Din. But I like that she not necessarily sliding into one-to-one, because she's also kind of hinted that there's some kind of this like, yeah, I hear you're good, sport. What do you got for me? Because I'll send you out on these missions kind of vibe, which I love. I don't want her to be like, oh, I've heard such great things. Let's have it be a little bit of McGarnacle, give me your badge, kind of like boss energy from her.
Yeah.
But this all kind of does make sense for me. I'm with you. It hasn't changed my expectations for the film.
Yeah, no, this really doesn't. And I guess it's interesting to see as we get these little trickles if we'll get any other names that are announced. I kind of don't feel like we will. If anything, it will just be a surprise in the film, which Jon Favreau is good at surprises.
Oh, they're good. They're good. And you know, him and Dave, you know, they've got to play the game. But we you know, you and I have a mutual friend who's really close to them when it comes to convention stuff. And that person has said a few times that, like, if they had their druthers, they would show up for these and then not say a word for talking about convention panels. They don't want anything out there. They know they have to. They try to control as best they can. But they want to preserve it. And it seems like you're going to have to get some marketing going. We have a lot on in the trailer that dropped that we'd already kind of been familiar with or heard about or seen before. I think some of it's an opening. To me, that AT-AT sequence is like an opening sequence kind of thing. And it's not going to be a third act kind of thing, but it could be wrong. But yeah, I think we got to get something. But I'm kind of in the spot, especially with this confirmation with Rada, where like if this could be the one Star Wars property, one Star Wars picture that has less is more mentality on the casting and the pop-ups. And I'm not saying everything's just going to be a cameo, but like I'd be excited with that. I don't need much more. I want a little bit more promotion for the film, for the business side of it. Yeah. But I don't need more for the cast.
I agree. I think that it's much more fun if it's in some ways underestimated and left alone. It's like, oh yeah, that's that Mando and Grogu thing. We're really focused on the Ryan Gosling thing, right? Good. Let it fly under the radar so that we get these great surprises when we're sitting there in the movie theater. That's what I want. And I can tell you, kids are already excited. Little kids. I was at my kid's school, and this little child had some Star Wars Stormtrooper sneakers and a Grogu t-shirt. And my husband was like, oh, you like Grogu? And the kid looked at their shirt and they said, no, that's Baby Yoda.
And then the kid went 6'7", and walked off.
I just love that. I was like, yes, that's what we want. We want the Baby Yoda fans going to see this movie. I think it's gonna be surprising, and I think that it's gonna be unexpected. I mean, I know we all know it's gonna be a hit, but I think it's gonna be a hit.
And Jeremy Allen White did say in, I think, the Good Morning America one, where he was like, I'm happy to, can't wait to take my kids to it type of answer.
Aww.
Which he has kids. Is he like, I thought he was like 22. I thought he was like 22.
He's young.
Just old?
Yeah, no. I think he's in his 30s. I think he has like 2 kids.
I guess that's old enough to have kids.
I know, right? In my world, I'm like, please. I was like, close to 40.
Yeah. Yeah, but that makes I like hearing that, and I'm not here to relight the fires of Star Wars for adults and Star Wars for kids, and this, like, it is what it is, and I'm glad Andor exists, and I'm glad I do want to scratch more of that itch, and I've come around on that a little bit of like, all right, yeah, we do have people that have grown up with the franchise, and maybe we can give them a little bit more what they want in terms of more somber, adult, serious tone. And it won't take away from what we have. Like I've kind of had to come to kind of a compromise within my soul over it, just because it was taking away some of my own joy over Andor, which is a pitch perfect show to me. But I want it to exist in the world alongside Boba Fett. And it was great to see at the No Kings rally on Saturday, Tony Gilroy and Pedro Pascal at the same event, hugging, taking photos together.
I missed that. Oh, gosh. I haven't been able to be on social media all weekend, and I feel so disconnected from the world.
That's right. Oh, everyone's confirming Jeremy Allen White is 34. So, yes, he is a baby and too young to have kids.
Yeah, for sure. 2 kids? 34?
Okay. 34? Oof. The hell are you doing? Is 1950?
I remember I always told my mom that. I was like 30 auditioning to be a mom. And I told my mom, I'm like, I'm too young to be auditioning for a mom. She's like, no, you're not. No,
I
you're
remember
not.
my mom had me. I think she was 26, and she's always like, I started late. I'm like, by whose standards?
Oh,
Dwight D.
gosh.
Eisenhower's? Like, calm down. Calm down. Um, yeah. So, anyways, I'll just say Jeremy Allen White has kids, and he's excited to take his kids to the film. I think that's a good thing. It doesn't mean this is going to be infantile. It doesn't mean this is going to be a baby picture. It means it's going to be a fun, blockbuster summer experience for the whole family. Put it in the marketing. Let's do it.
Yeah, I was just one aside. I was thinking about this and how important it is for kids to see things where it's like it's safe. You know that your heroes are in danger, but they're going to be okay in the end. They're going to live basically. And I'm always talking about I want to see people die on these shows, Game of Thrones, whatever it is, right? But I think it is like I saw my 6-year-old watching this movie The Twits on Netflix, and she was genuinely terrified that the kids were not going to be okay. And I was like, oh, Mando and Grogu, like, it's okay. There's going to probably be some danger. There's probably going to be some moments where we all might be like, is this it? Is this it for Mando? I mean, because it could be.
It could be a spectacular finish, right?
I know.
It could be.
I hope.
I don't think so.
I hope not. I hope not, because
it won't. But
that's what Star Wars was for me as a kid. It was a safe adventure where the heroes triumph, and the bad daddy does get it in Return of the Jedi, but Luke lives, and all of our heroes live. So
except for Nanta the Ewok, and that's still traumatic.
Oh,
Bambi's mom, Nanta the Ewok, Optimus Prime. These are the deaths that affected an entire generation.
Atreyu.
Atreyu, yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, that's
the ET scene where they're both in the medical thing. I was traumatized.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the confirmation. We have Rada, and he is the Buff Hutt. He's going to be running around, squiggling around with Din Djarin and Din Grogu. And we got Sigourney Weaver sent him out on missions. It's pretty simple. It's pretty cut and dry. We'll get some more information, I'm sure, along the way. But Jen, it's almost here. May. We got to start making plans. We got to start getting on those press lists again. We got to get ready for Mando and Grogu.
I love the Mandalorian Grogu. I love everything about it. You can invite us. We're just going to start. But I really am genuinely excited for this Rada character to be in live action. Artax, thank you, Jeannie from Tahini. It is
Artax was the horse, right?
Artax was the horse. Atreyu was a kid.
Yeah. Oh, that might make sense. I have a joke about that in my act, but I maybe say the wrong name. Maybe that's why people didn't laugh at it. Anyways, let's go on to our next story here, Jen. Are you ready to talk about Grandpa George?
Yeah, we got to get back to some of these comments. I'm going to start them because they're...
Oh, go for it. No, go for it. Bring them up.
Eli, you're right. If Alex Damon were here, he would give you an earful about the tragic demise of Biggs. Yes, Biggs didn't have as much of an impact on me or Porkins or whoever, right? Like I didn't... It wasn't the same. Like as if Chewie had died, that would have been terrible.
Right.
Terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. As if a moon crushed him. Yeah. Porkins and Biggs. As a kid, I remember feeling, and that's even without the special edition, extra scene of Biggs and all that stuff. And we had seen the, deleted scene of Biggs and Luke on Tatooine, but like, I remember feeling like, that's like if my friend Frank died. Like if we were on our bikes fighting power, that kind of sucks. Karen says, "Don't forget Dak." Dak,
oh, yeah.
I gotta say, if we're ranking Star Wars pilot deaths that affect me, Tali Lintra is number one, but that might have a lot to do with Hermione Corfeld. But Dak, man, I remember as a kid, like it just didn't seem right, and I didn't accept that he was dead. I think he dies when that explosion happens. But when Luke's trying to get him and then he gets that was terrifying to me as a kid. Being squished by a robot dinosaur, that stayed with me a little bit more than Biggs.
Yeah. Ula was pretty upsetting now that I think about it. I think we were just used to like our side heroes dying. But the core cast made it through.
Yeah, Dennis is right. Luke didn't check his pulse. He didn't have time, but he tried. Luke gave him the effort. Luke was like, I'll try to save him. But there you go. All right, let's talk about Grandpa George.
Okay.
You and I, Jen, I think we're agreeing. I think Joseph would agree too. We are slightly sometimes obsessed, maybe more off air than even on here, at George and his relationship with the thing that built him. Mm-hmm. He's clearly thankful. I don't think that's ever in question. But just depending on which Tuesday afternoon you catch him, he's going to have some things to say, and they're going to be hilarious in their own way. George spoke with the Wall Street Journal this past week, and this was, of course, in a little bit of promotion and preparation for the launch of his narrative museum, the big project that he's been putting pretty much all of his life into over the last 5-10 years or so, if not more. And he said, bigger interview, but we're pulling these little things. He said he grudgingly included Star Wars in his museum, but made sure to point out that it's only in one gallery out of like 33, because he didn't want anyone to walk in and say, "Where's the Star Wars stuff?" He said he's also moved on from thinking about managing Star Wars because he sold it to Disney and has a life. Jen, take it away. Let's talk some George.
I love him so much. I imagine, I was like, this is his way to protect himself. Like, obviously, putting Star Wars aside, like, he's a phenomenal director, creator, innovator. He has done so much beyond just Star Wars. I mean, being a pioneer with digital filmmaking and Pixar, like, the list goes on and on, right? He's a filmmaker. Yes, he made Star Wars, but he's done so many other things. But I think in terms of this, I would imagine that he has had to have some sort of therapy where he's had to accept this is no longer his. There's no going back and making changes and things like that. Well, I guess he could, or he kind of has a little bit, but like McClunky, right? But he's had to let it go because I'm sure it would drive him nuts. Otherwise, he would have notes upon notes watching, Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett or Skeleton Crew, right? Or like, it's not the way that he would do it. And so I think he's had to accept it's not his anymore. Yeah. He did his. Now it's living its own life, married to Disney.
Yeah, and Karen brings up kind of what I was thinking of is that George Lucas or William Shatner from the famous 1986 SNL sketch, "Get a life, dear God, kiss you." When was the last time he kissed a woman? Infamous sketch, funny sketch I grew up with, but also maybe where some of my nerd shame comes from. I love everything about this. I love the energy that George was just like, I don't care about Star Wars. I have a life, man. Also, my entire life is this museum now, which will be, I'm not saying he wants it to be his legacy over Star Wars, but it will be part of his legacy. It will never overtake Star Wars as his legacy. How could it? And I think he realizes that. I do think, let's not forget that this is a man that, was ahead of the curve in the sense of calling out fandoms, right? Like he's been in this game for a long time. We know he was, we know from Katie Lucas, who you did a wonderful study on our Jedi Beat episode. You can find it here on the channel. She herself kind of left social media like 2011 because the fandom raked her and her father over their coals. George has had his fill. He understands it is the thing in his life, but he has done so many other things. He does have an interest, and this museum is going to be way more than Star Wars. I'm excited for it to be more than Star Wars, but yeah, I understand that he needs to do this because it's going to be a natural reaction. Even if I had walked in to the museum, which I can't wait to do, and been like, "You didn't put anything in from Star Wars?"
Yeah, right.
It's pretty key in the history of narrative art. But I just, above it all, Jed, I just love that George, who wears the flannel less, now he's in cool little jumper track suits and all these things. He's a little more hipper. I just like that this is always going to be George's energy.
I love it. He is so authentically himself in every interview, and he loves chatting. He loves chatting about Star Wars. But you could probably ask him about a lot of things, and he's always going to share his opinion, unfiltered.
Yeah. Unfiltered, absolutely, always has been, and that sometimes, he steps in the mashed potatoes a little bit with some of the things, as we know. But I wouldn't want him any other way, and he still enjoys his stuff. We know
Yeah.
You know Dave gets on the phone with him, and there's opinions on what has happened, and I don't think I don't take this comment as him divorcing himself from Star Wars. I think I take it as let me live my life, let me focus on this, and I have there's, and I want to make sure I'm not comparing myself to George, because let me check my bank account. Oh, I'm definitely not George. But if you get known in small circles for something, and then that's the only thing that people see you as, it does build up a little bit of unplanned resentment. And I think George was like, I sold that. Let me walk away, man. Let me go.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about that. I do wonder, does he ever go to Skywalker Ranch still? Have you heard any?
I think he still has an office. Yes. Unconfirmed. I still think an office, and I forget where I have no sources on this. I don't, but there's like art up there that was his. There's now like replicas because they've taken it and maybe are going to move it to the museum and did move to the museum. So yeah, I think he has the keys to the place.
I wondered.
And maybe I don't know what the arrangement is, but it could very well be that Disney, as opposed to just say Lucasfilm, but Disney rents from him, like he owns it, and like you can rent the space. And I know there's been for years the talk of moving everyone out of the Presidio and moving them down here to Burbank or the Glendale offices.
We could use that.
And a lot did come down. A lot of people did have to come down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine, I imagine George still rents it out.
He does. I know for a fact. I can't say who or what, but I know they do cut. They're going to be cut. They cut some movies there that are not Disney related. Well, you know that. Everyone knows that, right? But
Molly Damon says she's our correspondent on the street. Jen, let's go to Molly on the street there. They told us he still comes by, but not often since he's working on the museum. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So then does he have a place in Los Angeles?
Lots of art was missing when we went. Oh, look at this. Molly is.
Oh.
There was Molly saying, like the Louvre, there was just art missing.
Oh my gosh. That's our inside source. Tell us more.
Tell us more, Molly. How was the gift shop? How was the food? Yeah.
So cool.
Anyways, I can't wait for the museum. I did get on a press email list. Did I send that to you, Jen? It doesn't mean we're going to have early access. It doesn't mean we're going to be influencers invited to the museum open, but I now get emails from them. So, I'm excited. It's a little far.
No, a little far off, or distance wise?
But distance wise, it's closer to you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is. I'm ready. I'll take the subway down there. It's like literally right off the subway.
Okay, that's good. I'll take the subway. I'll catch. Let's just you and I talk LA traffic for a live audience here. We're here for a few more minutes as we wrap up this conversation about George Lucas. I just wanted to bring it up because I think it's always hilarious when George gets like this. And George is a mythical figure, man. George, and you and I both know a lot of folks that know him and worked with him, and every story just adds to the legend. He's like that old SNL sketch, Bill Brasky. Like it's just everything you hear about George, and he surprises you. He surprises people, I think, with his opinions and how connected he is. He does look like the grandpa in New Balance shoes at the food court, but he pays attention. He's tech savvy. He loves all this stuff. He's still going.
He's still going.
In the time we have left here, if you have any questions for us here, go ahead. Get them on in here. We'll pull some from chat. We're here for about 5-10 more minutes. Do want to announce programming. I'll try to be live Friday again with the ForceCenter call-in show. It's been a lot of fun to hear from you all and see you all on the show. But also this week, Jen and I just recorded a nice little half-hour-ish free-form episode talking about the early days of ForceCenter, 10 years on this month. In fact, last Friday was our 10th anniversary of a podcast. We're in our 11th broadcast season, heading into our 12th. Still a little time to reflect, and we go all over the place in the conversation, so hopefully you all follow us on that journey, and that should come out Wednesday this week there. So
Yes.
Anything jumping out to you there? David McKay says, no, Howard the Duck art is up, so it must have moved to the museum.
Oh, I forget about that. I remember that movie.
Our buddy Ken Plume sending this super chat on behalf of George. Yeah, George needs it. You know, the income's a little low. He's probably spent a lot of his own money on that museum, I'm sure, right?
Oh yes, spared no expense. I gotta go check it out. I was just there not that long. I was there 6 months ago at the Natural History Museum. I should go back.
Yeah. Mike Fink is our San Anselmo reporter. Mike lives up in that area, and his favorite breakfast spot, Hilda's, just closed. Oh, that's disappointing.
Just closed.
Maybe it closed because George is more based down here these days.
Darn it. I was going to bookmark it on Yelp. It's like,
yeah.
Hilda's? What time? Thank you. I would never approach him. I just would stare at him, which is probably a lot creepier.
Which is probably what he doesn't like, right?
I know. I noticed me going,
Hey.
What does he order?
Hey, how are you doing? Hey. I love doing that. I love collecting awkward eye contact with celebrities completely on accident. It's a fun thing.
I had it happen. Actually, swingers adjacent. I'll tell you off air. And I was like, it was so uncomfortable because it was related like to a kid thing. And I just was like, shoot, now he thinks that I am staring at him because of who he is. I genuinely would just happen to glance in that direction and make eye contact. I don't care. Like, you're cool, but I really don't care. And I just felt so embarrassed. And then I kept catching his eye. I was like, oh, shoot, now he thinks I'm really creepy.
Wait, were you in Cafe 101 with Vince Vaughn? Is this the reverse of the end of Swingers?
I missed Cafe 101. I used to love that diner.
It is something else now. You can still go to it. It's just not Cafe 101. Yeah, it reopened as a diner or something else. It's pretty good. Joseph and I had some business meetings there. It's good. I love that stuff. I've told my tale of awkward eye contact with Amelia Clark at the solo premiere, but I recently added Zooey Deschanel at Spinal Tap 2. I was walking to the bathroom, and I was like, hey, isn't that guy... Isn't he married to Zooey Deschanel? Then I just kind of looked over and her and I were staring at each other. I was like, yeah, there she is. We're just locking eyes. That's your husband, huh? It was so weird. Like, I'm going to go that way now.
The property brother?
Yeah, it was one of the property brothers. I was like, hey, that looks like one of the, isn't that, oh yeah, there she is.
I saw him and I did the same thing and I locked eyes with him. But then the most awkward thing, he was like, will you take our picture? So then I was like, oh, shoot. So now I have to try and like do a good job taking the picture. And then he's like, thank you. And then I said, no, thank you. What?
Thank you, celebrity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, God. So awkward.
There we go. All right, Eddie. Eli's got it right. George is a fascinating individual. I mean, he's an absolute genius, and that's what this is all about. That is what this is all about. Is we're still living in George's world, and I think everyone understands that, and Franny even understands it. Do you understand it, Franny? Do you understand it? Every live stream, I've hit the spot about 45 minutes to an hour is when she gets hungry, and she's like, "You're done talking Star Wars." Done talking Star Wars. Dennis says, how much for an autograph from the ForceCenter crew? Free. If you can track me down at my local donut shop, free. Free indeed. Free indeed.
I know you don't. You know you don't want it.
There you go. All right. Well, I think we're starting. I'm telling you, this 5-pound Chihuahua runs my life.
She's like the dog from Mary Poppins. I don't think you would remember that, but there where they encounter the dog and the dog is like saying that the child needs help or someone needs help. Yes.
Yeah, she's saying that.
Oh,
she is the child that needs help.
Oh, is she wearing a sweater? What is that?
It's her daddy sweater.
My God.
Here, come on now. Come on, we got branding around here.
Oh, I can't take it. It's so cute.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. I want a Chihuahua again. I miss my Chihuahua. There's nothing like them. That breed is truly special.
Yeah. Michael McCarsel's right. Just check every 7-Eleven in the Burbank area. You'll inevitably find Ken. Yeah, I was a couple years ago when I just moved to this neighborhood. I was walking into my 7-Eleven of choice, and someone opened the door, was like, hey, Pit Boss. I was like, well, I can't go to this 7-Eleven anymore, but all right, I still did it.
I love it.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Can I put you down so I can end the show? Can I put you down so I can end the show?
Oh my
Yeah?
gosh.
Okay. You want munch? Do you want munch? Is this about munch?
Look at how her ears went down. She knows. Oh, they're so smart. Mala would never do that for me. She just likes to lay on the floor.
There you go. All right, everybody. That's it. That's our silly, fun news edition of ForceCenter. Join me Friday for ForceCenter callback show. I got official name pending. As I said, we got a little special interview. Jen and I sit down and chatting. And we're trying to. I publicly put pressure on Molly and Alex to join us for like a cross interview joint episode of 10 years of doing this stuff. I don't want to put too much on their plate. But I do want to celebrate both of our channels this year in our 10th year of existence. But that's all because of you. So thanks for your support. You can support us directly at Patreon, patreon.com/ForceCenter. Links down below of where to find us. Jen and I don't post as much on social media these days. Just go live your life. Be like George. Get a life. But we appreciate you all. We'll see you next time here on ForceCenter.